recorded live in the studios of Brewer Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Fred production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
Hey, welcome back to the Mike Weatherford Show. I'm your host, Mike Weatherford. Hey, folks, tonight I got something I want to talk about to y'all. Not only are we going to talk about the property taxes and what the tax assessor does, you know, maybe you're fussing at the wrong guy. We'll get to the bottom of that. But hey, you've been asking me about YouTube. That's all I've been hearing. Can I get you on YouTube? Can I get you on YouTube? Yes, we are simulcasting tonight, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We ain't figured out yet how to do Spotify Live, but we are on Spotify. So you can find us at all the major platforms because you, the viewer, have been asking me. We want to see it on YouTube Live. So tonight is the first night I'm simulcasting Facebook, YouTube Live. You can go to My Parish TV, which I'm going to tell you the easy way. Go to YouTube, type in at My Parish TV. Remember that, at My Parish TV. When you get there, the little button up there says subscribe. Click that. There's my other sister shows. All the shows it runs through the Brewer Street Mafia and Kill Media is all on at My Parish TV on YouTube. You got a link on there to carry right back to Facebook, link carry to YouTube, and all the other shows is running through our program is right there. Or you can go to www.myparishtv.com and find us right there. But I want you to go over to YouTube because you've been asking me and subscribe to us. I want that subscription rate to go up. I'm going to see if y'all really meant it when you've been telling me I need to be on YouTube. So there you go, folks. That's how to find us. First time tonight, live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I got a good show tonight. We're going to be talking about our favorite subject, taxes. Tonight I've got two guys in here that knows about it. And we're going to find out, are they the ones to be mad at, or is there anybody to be mad at? First off, on my left, Henry County Property Assessor, Scott Morrison. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you for having us here tonight.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming, brother. And also, my good friend, Ryan Hall. He's the Benton County Property Assessor. Ryan, appreciate you being here, brother.
Thanks, Mike. Man, I watch you every week. It's a great show, and I appreciate you having me on,
Man,
trying to get information out
That's
there.
what we got to do. We got a lot to talk about tonight. You know, it's everybody's most favorite subject.
Most favorite officials in the house today, right?
Y'all are the Grim Reaper.
The thankless job.
There you go. I'm going to pitch it out there, and y'all both can answer it. Talk at the same time. Hell, we just country around here. Tell me and my viewers, just get the record straight, what exactly does a property assessor do, and most importantly, what do you not do? Either one of you.
Ryan, you want to start off? Ryan's a veteran here,
Raise
right?
their taxes. That's what we do.
You better shut up.
Well, yeah, man, they'll be picking it outside your studio.
That's what everybody thinks. That's right.
Tell us what you do.
Well, we are responsible for, first of all, trying our very best to make sure everybody's treated fair and equitable, right? We don't want to show, we put our hand on the Bible when they swore us in, took an oath of office that we would do our very best that we got enough sense to do to not show favoritism or partiality to anybody and just try to do the job and appraise them fairly, describe
What is an assessor's job to do? What do? You don't go out and set the tax rate.
Nope.
You don't go out and do you appraise property?
We do. Well, the appraisals themselves are set during our reappraisal
By the
year.
state.
By the state, yes,
Right.
sir. We just call it what it is. That's
Right.
kind of what I say. I go out, you build a new house, I'll go out there with my little wheel, my boots on, and I'll run it out. If it's got brick on it, I call it a brick. If it's vinyl siding, I call it vinyl siding. If
Righty.
it's got a basement upstairs,
Yeah.
I just call it what it is.
Right.
Average quality. If it's fancier, it's above average. You know, we've got
Right.
different
Right.
things.
Right.
And we just call it what it is, and then we put it on your tax card.
Where does the value set? Where does that come from?
Well, it's set by the state every reappraisal year.
But when you appraise my house for the first time, I build a new house.
Yep.
And you come out there and you look at my house, you roll it out, you look at it, brick, 2,000 square foot, full basement, 2-story. you come back and you plug it in somewhere to get that number? Where does that number come from?
It is generated from what they call a base house in your reappraisal year. Right. Scott knows that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something, I had this question last week. I had a gentleman call me, and he wanted to talk about, well, he bought his house in 2022. So he said, I've already been paying a higher. And I said, no, sir. You've been paying on whatever the houses were set at in 2020, okay? Right. As the last time Henry County had a reappraisal was 5 years ago. So during that 5 years, he got the benefit of going back to that 2020, even though he bought his house in 22 and he paid a lot more money in 22 than he would have in 2020. Right. But he's got the benefit since 2022,
5 years,
going back to that 2020 price, that value.
But my question is y'all's value is plugged in, and you say a base house, 2,000 square foot house, is worth X amount of dollars. Now he's got a basement, and he's got brick, he's got upgraded cabinetry, he's got upgraded this, he's got a deck on it, got a concrete patio. He's got all that, and he's got an outbuilding. That raises that value from that set price, correct?
There was about 3 or 4 houses that sold in this last year, in the 24 year, over in Benton County. The comptroller's office took those sales. They looked at that, the layout of that house, how many square foot I sketched it out and all that, and then they looked at that data, and they broke all of that. So say they give $250 for it. It had an acre of ground with it.
Right.
So then they broke all of that out, and then they plugged them numbers in. They repriced the land. They repriced that house based on what it sold for. And then off of that brand new house, that projects or shoots out a number to every other house in the county. Right. So you got a house that's built in the 70s, it's depreciated so much or whatever, and you got a house built in 2024, it's brand new. Right. But that base house is what they call it.
Right.
That they shoot that number toward every house in the county.
Gotcha. Is the cost of a new house in Benton and Henry County, has that cost per square foot went up a lot since our last appraisal in 2020?
Yes, it's increased significantly now, and I can tell you that from being a lender before.
Right.
So we started seeing in 21. After COVID, these prices really jumped up. Now they've come back down a little, but not a lot.
What is the average cost per square foot to build a new house?
I mean, we're looking at you're not going to get one built for $150.
Right.
If you do, you've got a deal.
Right. And that's just standard grade.
Right.
That's standard.
Yeah.
Then that's not counting upgrade. If you want to go with better lights or better water fixtures or anything like that.
It's a very basic home.
That's
pretty much a builder. That's going to be a builder grade home,
right.
spec
so
house.
150. I built my house and had it built. I didn't build it, but I built it. Had it built in 95, and I think it was about $100, and that was upgraded.
Yeah.
I upgraded all of my stuff that I could.
And that's what they're looking at in Henry County. Our base house, they're saying, well, it's a 1,500 square foot.
Is that? I thought it was 1,000. Now we're saying
1,500 is what ours is.
And that's with every county. It's 1,500, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, vinyl siding house.
House.
What are they saying they're worth?
Well, we haven't finalized ours yet. So
I'm locked in right now. I think it's at 206.
Jesus Christ!
And just so everybody knows, Benton County is ahead of us in reappraisal this year. Yeah. So they've already had their final value meeting. They've gotten their values in. Right. We won't have ours. I believe my final value meeting is going to be April the 4th. I believe 3rd or 4th.
But the
is
state
what they've told
just
me.
Does it. Slowly works its way across, right?
Right. There's 6 counties in West Tennessee this year that are in reappraisal. Right. We're last. We came in. Our previous assessor had retired back in April. A lot of things going on up there in the office, shorthanded. So the state put us last this year.
They're letting him get more time in the saddle before the storm hits.
Letting you build your casket,
right? That's right. Yeah, we're working on it.
But property assessors. I don't know the job. I'm not real smart. If you go around being dumb like me, they don't ever ask me questions. They don't ask Mike nothing. He's dumb because he won't know the answer. Property assessor, like the old saying, you don't get to drive the train. You don't get to toot the horn. You don't get to throw the candy out to the kids. Right. But let that train jump track, y'all catch hell, right?
That's right.
So a property assessor does not set the tax rate.
No, we have nothing to do with tax rate.
The property assessor does not tell basically the state comes in and tells you what the house is worth. Y'all, but there is a lot of things that assessor does. Explain to me, because people has been calling me before I was going to do a show and was telling me to tell y'all they don't want their taxes to go up. They need some help on their taxes. And I'm trying to steer them to the right offices. So I want these viewers to understand exactly what y'all guys do.
So yeah, we don't set the tax rate. We don't have anything to do with that. We don't
even collect no money.
We don't collect them. That's your county trustee collects the money on it. All we do is set a value. So to set a value, we've got to go out to your property, measure it, make sure we've got the measurements on the house right, make sure we've identified every structure on that property, and we've got everything identified. That way, we get the best value on it.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, we got all the mapping. We do all the mapping in the county. We do the deeds, the register of deeds, they record them. But, we have to enter in all the data into our system that goes on the TN property data.
Gotcha.
TN property viewer.
Yeah,
that
I
thing
use that
gets
a lot. Yeah.
a couple of million hits a month, what the comptroller people say.
It's awful.
But it's one of the best websites. Google TN property data, TN property viewer, but they pull our data.
That's part of public records.
That's right.
People,
it's all open to the public.
Yeah, that people sometimes they say, well, how'd you know what I give my house? Well, it's public record.
All public.
Anything you buy like it, real estate is public. So you can get on Tennessee property data, type in the county, Henry, and just type in your name or my name, or in Henry County, be you and I, and they can see what we give for our house, and they can see what the county assessor says it's worth now.
And that's something, with this reappraisal coming on, you can go right now and you can look at yours, and you can see what your assessed value is. Well, I can look at my assessed value, and we were talking earlier, unfortunately, we don't get a break just because we're property assessors. The state likes to put they jump us up too. So one thing, look at what your assessed value is now, and you can see what it's going to be. Once the
you get that change notice.
When we get our change notices go out.
Yes, right. What are you seeing? Benton County's basically finalized, correct?
Yes, sir.
What increase are you seeing on a? Let's just use an easy number because, like I said, I'm not real smart. $200,000 house in 2020. Y'all was appraised in 2022, right?
No, we were in 20. We're on the same cycle. Benton, Henry, Decatur, and Carroll, we're all together.
Okay, so it's 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
So 2020 is last year y'all got. What are you seeing that $200,000 house that's in 2020 doing right now?
Well, my data told me, when the comptroller's office gave me the final numbers, I'd done a Fred Sanford, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. I fell out of the chair because I knew he was running behind, but, man, I didn't realize it was selling that high. Right. I got the numbers. If you want to go over them.
Go over quickly, let's don't bore them with like my daddy used to say, let's don't talk about the bird, show me the baby.
My commercials went up about 30%.
Really?
30. And
that's not as bad as I thought.
No.
That's not where the market was at, though.
That's not where the market was at. Right. Now, we talked earlier, if you're on a Greenbelt parcel, okay.
Explain what Greenbelt is.
All right. Greenbelt's a tax savings that the state of Tennessee has for anybody that's got 15 acres or above. You can have timberland or you can have open space land, row crop or pasture land. But and if anybody out there listening, if you got 15 acres or above, get in Greenbelt.
Right.
Because what it does, it takes your market value on your land and then it takes it over here to the Greenbelt side. And right now in Benton County, it's over a 60% reduction.
In the value or the taxes?
In the value of the land. So
what's it do in Henry County? Same numbers?
Well, we don't have our final numbers yet.
I mean, percent-wise, 60% on Greenbelt.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to be right along the same lines.
I don't think it changed with its assessment. The Greenbelt didn't.
Well, when you're I'll tell you what happens, because Tennessee law also says that the state cannot raise the land value on the Greenbelt side but 30%.
Yeah.
So they cap it at 30% by state law. So your market tab may be way up, but you can only go up 30% on your Greenbelt. So the difference in the savings on your assessment, you have a use value is what they call it. That's your Greenbelt value. But, man, those parcels with that 30% cap went up on average about 52%.
Man, so what's that in dollars?
$200,000
house was paying $1,000. He's going to pay $1,520 now.
Are you talking about on what you pay in taxes?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have any idea what they'll pay in taxes until this summer. Right. We'll get into all that tax rate stuff in a little bit. But now you want the real kicker, And this is the one that I fell out of the chair.
Again?
Yeah, I got up on the farms. I got myself back together, and then they gave me the residentials. Now, a residential is a 25% assessment, right? Okay, but it's under 15 acres, so it's not receiving a green belt. Everybody out there ready, man. 78% in Benton County since 2020 on average.
78% increase in value.
We've lost about 15 to 17% a year. The market has gained that much in Benton County.
Damn. What the hell? Do you know what caused that? I'm going to tell you, y'all can't, I can. My name's still on the show. That's these people from out of town, out of state, moving in and overpaying for property. You know, and y'all can't say nothing. Y'all may agree.
Well, you're telling the truth, man. I mean,
I know. And the problem is they have priced the locals out of the market. That's why you see so much people renting houses. That's why you see rents are high, because rents there's not houses to rent. But when you got a house up north, let's say, or out west, it used to be up north, now it's out west.
California,
right? They sold a house out there for $700,000, and they pop up over here, and you want $200,000 for it. You know, you figure you're going to get $150,000 out of it, and they say, yeah, I'll take it. Or they'll put an offer in at $175,000, and another guy says, well, I'll give you $200,000. Before you know it, it's a price war, and it brings above what your asking price was. That's what's caused it. They've overpaid. We know it, and it's kind of a lot of these people's laughing about it. That made money.
Well, the real estate business people has enjoyed it, and people that sold. And I don't knock anybody.
Right now is a seller's market.
That's right. I don't knock anybody for making money.
That's how it works.
That's right. That's how it works, that's the line of work. Those people have to take.
They're comparing prices in California, and Utah, and probably Colorado, and then you go up in Illinois and Michigan and Wisconsin. They're comparing it. And they're not really understanding that a $700,000 house up there is not a $700,000 house.
Well, hey,
here.
And here's the thing too, Mike. You know, it's hard for us local folks to believe it, but Tennessee is known at Tennessee, Texas, and Florida as one of the top three of the lowest paying in taxes. These folks that come in my office, they're tickled to death. You know, it's people I go to church with that'll give me down the road. You know,
you hear it too. I hear it too. You know,
they pay $10,000 or $12,000 a year in taxes.
Oh yeah,
you know?
My cousin just moved to Illinois. He complains about his property tax, and he has a right to complain. You know.
Yeah, they're wasting money.
Yeah, nobody wants to pay taxes. That's including everybody. But compared to what he come from, he's paying a year probably what he paid a month up there.
Right.
But you know. But once you get used to living in Henry County, and then they say, well, we want this, we want that, I want that. Why ain't y'all got this? Why do y'all don't have the snow plows? Why don't you have this? Well, by God, that's why our taxes are not as high.
Taxes, that's right.
And on the other hand, to me, it's higher than hell when it goes up, because I'm used to paying $700 or $800 a year.
Well, we've been living off these wages here. You know, I mean, you're living off the wages here, where folks, you know, a dollar goes a lot further on them, that kind of money coming here than it does for our local folks.
So we're looking at Henry County is probably, we don't have the numbers, so it's going to be hearsay if it was in a court of law, right? Or our opinion.
Yeah, it's hearsay right now, but I mean we're going to be close to that.
I mean you're going to be in that ballpark.
We're going to be very much in that ballpark.
So if you bought a house in 2020 for $200,000, you can just about figure in Henry County and Benton County that in 2025 it's going to price for $278,000.
That's I mean if that's the average.
I mean, I know I'm not trying to nail y'all down, but that's what you're telling me.
Right, yeah.
And then what is the tax rate in Henry County?
It's 1.9333 right now.
1.93. What is it in Benton County?
2.7274. So just shy.
Why is it so much higher in Benton County? Because y'all don't have as much value?
Historically, our appraisals have not been as high. Right. You know, so you've got, you know, in your tax formula, you got your appraisal per $100. You know,
so let me go back to that. I told y'all when we started, I'm real slow. You got to work slow with me. That $1.93 and that $2.72 is per what?
Per $100.
Per $100 of the value that's on your tax card.
Yes. I do the formula. It's pretty easy to do it. And anybody out there listening, get you an ink pen and just jot this down. Take your appraisal, whatever that is, divide it by 100 because it's on $100 on it, times your assessment, which the bulk of folks listening is going to be at 0.25, 25%, and then times your tax rate, and you can figure your taxes every time on that.
Right.
And you know, we are in charge of the assessment, the appraisal. We classify it correctly if it's residential
But
use.
you have a way that if we don't agree with it, we can come down there and appeal it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's several
Somebody
things on
asked
that.
right here, I don't know where it come from. You know, I have to have a monitor to help me because you know, a guy named Kevin asked if they can explain how they get upper story measurements for appraisal.
Right. So we call an upper story a lot of times upper story high when we're putting it on our card. It automatically factors in your eaves, you know. So if I'm outside looking up there and I see your pitch of your roof and I see the window up there and all, you know, I'll run the width of that room out, and then I'll run it. If it's got a window on the other end, I know she's going all the way through more than likely. Now, you know, a lot of times I try to show up when the contractors are still there, you know, and they're hammering nails still and all that, right before, you know, before the people get in and get
Kind of walk through.
Yeah, just kind of cause.
Yeah, how would you know the value of the inside of the house? Either one of y'all can butt in. I'm not just talking to either one of y'all. Y'all feel free to jump in.
Well,
how would you know it's upper grade, average grade, or below grade? How do you know that if you don't get to go in the house?
well, as he said, you if you're doing it right, you try to get there during the construction so maybe you can see.
Right. Well, how in the hell here lately? That'd be a full-time job.
Yeah.
See, we get
we
electrical
got-
tickets from the state.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
how y'all know.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
got
damn,
us
always the way.
Yeah, they got now.
We don't give away all our secrets, all right, but now it's out.
Oops.
Yeah.
No, you know, and so when I get to HVAC, you know, and I get to final, I know if the boys are there working every day, you got about a month before the homeowner comes in.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, so you can kind of see, you know, if it's got granite countertops and all this fancy stuff, if it's in a fancier neighborhood subdivision,
Right.
if it's just, you can look a big fancy house most of the time from the outside, you can look to see kind of what they got in it, you know, too, and then you just call it what it is. You
Yeah.
know, you call it above average. We go anywhere from a below minus average way down all the way up to +2. You know, above average.
So that when it on your when you get Tennessee property, that it tells you above average, below average.
Yep.
I thought that might be on the upkeep of the house, but it's about the upgrades of the house.
Well, that's the
we do have
quality and
that's
condition.
the quality, and then then we have a condition factor as well. So there's, you
So
know,
it's a pretty hard deal to come up with this value. Y'all have to put a lot of thought into it. So you just don't pull it out of your hind end and say this is what it's worth.
Well,
you
no,
work
I mean,
your butt off.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at it and you're having to determine,
Yeah.
you know, the best of your knowledge what you're seeing and what you've talked to. If you've talked to the homeowner, that's how you're trying to come up with with
Somebody
the best
said
information you can.
In 2009, when she built her house back, she put in a extra bathroom, and tax on her farm went up due to the second bathroom. She said, tax for a small home at the lake is $500. That's not bad.
That's cheap.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, I may
Yeah.
not have got the whole
Yeah.
sentence they're typing into me. Maybe
Here's
I missed something.
like, and a lot of times, you know, like somebody puts in another bath, somebody finishes out the basement. We won't know that until it sells.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, until it's listed online. You know, and
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
inside
yeah.
stuff. But
But the state is basically just going off of comps, comparisons of what houses have been selling for in Benton County, what houses have been selling for in Henry County. They're based it on a 1,500 square foot house.
the laws and the theory of appraising property is the same for a private appraiser as
Yeah.
it is for us.
Right.
The reappraisal is just a mass update of that.
Right.
But when we go to an individual parcel, we try to do our best, just like if you had to get your place appraised for a bank loan or something, you know.
Yeah.
The same Marshall and Swift, stuff like that a lot of the private appraisers use.
Yeah.
We use the same concepts, theories, laws,
Right.
appraisal systems, all that kind of stuff.
You just got elected. You just walked into an office that's had another assessor there for how many years? 20 years or better?
26 years.
Did you find a lot of surprises?
We've had several things that we're having to work through.
Right.
So it's we we've had our hands full. I'll say that, and
add on top of that this reappraisal.
Yeah, walking into a reappraisal year
Yeah.
as a new assessor is pretty much unheard of.
There's a bunch of the old hands that got out before their reappraisal.
Yeah,
they gave it to the new boys.
I think we talked when I was here back in July before the election.
Right.
And, at that time, they were throwing out 40% increase, and I'd heard 40 to 60. Well, that scared me to death because I was like, they'll run me out of office. Well, now it's gone up higher than that's what we're hearing.
Well, I think that the people, I don't know who to blame for it. I really don't. But the property assessors are getting blamed for something they don't have.
Well,
y'all are blamed.
And the state will tell you, they'll say, well, blame us. Blame us. Well, that's great. But they're going to be here for 1 week over at my office. Okay, so they can go back to Jackson and hide, and they don't have to hear you.
If my house comes back, and okay, there's two. I'm gonna ask you this first thing right here. I used to would say I'd buy about any house around Henry County, not all of them, any of them, for what the tax card said, because there was profit to be left. The way y'all are talking to me right now, there's probably not going to be. That's not going to be feasible anymore.
Well, it won't, because you're basically right now, when we go through the reappraisal, you're trying to get back to 100%, okay? 100% of what the market's doing right now. Now, if you look at the tax cards right now, you'd love to be able to buy these houses for what the tax cards are now.
It's been like that ever since I've been around.
Because it's been, but every year you get further away. What he mentioned earlier, he was talking about sales ratio. I mean, we're so far down on our sales ratio because we're working off 2019 sales numbers right now. So what's happened since 2019 versus 2024 sales.
Yeah.
So that's where your difference is coming in.
Do you think it's ever going to adjust itself? Or you think the value of homes is going to keep rising? Or we had that boom and it's kind of over?
If I knew that, Mike, if I'd have bought everything I looked
go
at,
down and buy the lottery
I'd
ticket.
have bought everything in 2020. I could have sold it all in 21. I probably wouldn't be sitting right here.
I'm going to fire up all my platforms we're on when I say this. You can usually look over Missouri and see what farmland's doing because it comes out of Missouri, heads this way. Friends of mine live in Missouri said it's flatlining. Property values of farmland may have plateaued. It may have hit it to where any more than that is not feasible to grow corn on.
I showed you my high-tech notebook a while
Yeah,
ago.
you got a pretty cool one.
Yeah, well, it's
I like it.
It's just a spiral binder.
Yeah.
It's nothing, no spreadsheets, no Excel sheets. It's just a simple thing. But I write down the sales every day of what it sells for and what I got it appraised at. And I can tell you my 25 numbers are already locked in, and I'd say 80 to 90% of them are still selling higher than what my brand new appraisals are.
So it ain't slowing down.
Well, it's not. I mean, from what we're seeing, I look through the deeds every day that are coming across, and I mean, we're not seeing it.
So is it? It used to be it was people locally buying and selling, moving around, but you're still seeing predominantly coming from out of towners.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
We have a lot, but I mean, we're seeing some local sales as well.
You're going to see that, but predominantly, there's got to be majorities out of town money still coming in, right? Would you say 50-50, 60-40? What do you say, Benton County?
I'd say it's more than half over Benton County. I'd say it's probably 70.
Out of town.
80, yeah, 80.
Well, maybe y'all are just getting where we was. We've been doing for 10 years with that lake down here and farm. Maybe we're plateauing a little bit.
I'm thinking 50-50.
Okay, we're plateauing then because it used to be more than that,
Yeah.
But
I can't pronounce 90% of the names on my deeds,
That's why I have this monitor. I can say Scott and Ryan, but sometimes these names I say, what
Paul
the hell?
and Morrison. These last names coming here, man.
Mike, that's pretty easy to say.
There ain't too many Jim Bobs coming here.
No. But what do? We all know that we're going to talk about this on the other side of the break. But we all know that y'all's job is to assess the property, see what its value of it is. Y'all get all them numbers, you put them in a neat little old pile, and you send them over to the courthouse. And the county commissioner decide what to do with the tax rate from there. Am I kind of in the same? Am I telling you right?
That's right. Yes.
So, really, all you do is you don't drive the train, you don't get to toot the horn, y'all don't even get to throw candy out. Y'all just take them numbers and say, all right, guys, this is what state and what we decided, or what the state decided to revalue is, and they have to get over at the county commission office and decide, are we going to drop that $1.93 down to make the tax dollars that we collect the same? Is there a law that says they have to do that, or what?
Yeah, the certified tax rate law is
That's
basically
$1.93.
Well, that's what our tax rate is right now.
Right.
So what you're seeing here is in a reappraisal year, the certified tax rate is set in place by the state so that the county doesn't have a windfall.
Right.
Due to property values going up, like
They would
we're going
love
to
it.
have this time.
I mean, I got a lot of friends on the county commission who are watching me right now. Y'all know damn well you'd like to have that extra money, but go ahead.
But the certified tax rate law
So would
says that
Benton
they
County.
cannot take in $1 more than what they did last year.
Got you.
So it's not going to be a windfall for the county. It's going to be basically be a wash.
Right.
Now you still get your new construction, that sort of thing, just like you would at any
Right.
time. But that certified tax rate law is going to apply to everything that was on the books.
Right.
So they're gonna have to lower it down, as you're seeing there, as he was showing. As values go up, then that certified tax rate has to
So
come
what
down.
you're trying to do is my $2,500 a year tax that I'm paying on a piece of property, they're going to drop that $1.93 down, according to state law, to where I still pay about $2,500 in taxes.
But no, I can't
Okay.
tell you that because
Okay.
this is what happens. The county can't take in $1 more. They get the same amount of money as they did last year.
Right.
But what happens is, as you go through, you've got your average, like he was talking about earlier. So what you're going to end up is there may be some people that are below the average that don't see any increase. If you're above that average, you're going to see a possible increase.
I'm lost. Say it again.
All right.
I think
So-
you said it backwards.
You got an
I
average.
think
You've got
below
an
the average,
below,
you'll
so
see an
below
increase.
average.
If they raised
No.
it, if they raised it less than the average was raised, then you may wind up paying less than you
Yes.
did before.
Okay.
If
I've
they go
never
with the
had that
certified. If they
think that's
raised
like
your,
You got
Bigfoot.
nice, you got nice stuff,
hey,
Mike.
look at it like this. Over in Benton County, Sugar Tree up there across the interstate is
Yeah.
going to sell at a different amount than stuff on the lake,
Sure
stuff
it
in the
is.
fancy subdivisions. So when they're crunching all them sales, different neighborhoods, different areas raise at certain amounts.
Mm-hmm.
And so the certified rate is what they call revenue neutral to the
Gotcha,
county.
gotcha.
So it'll be revenue neutral.
So
The
there's
county-
still I understand this. There might be some taxes go up, but there again there might be some go down.
It will
But
go down.
it
Some will
will.
go
There will
down,
be
some will
some.
go
But
up.
the dollar amount that they collect at the courthouse will still be the same.
Still be the same.
Revenue
but a
neutral.
guy
Well, I take
told me,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I had a fella telling me Stewart County went through a reappraisal back in 23, and he told me, he
What
said
did theirs do?
theirs went up. I don't know their numbers, but he told me, he said, I was told by the assessor, you won't have a tax increase. I would never sit here and tell
No,
you that.
hell no. I mean,
Because
I learned
there will
never-
be people that their bill will go up because if they're above that average, they're going to see a tax increase.
And we'll dig in that certified rate some more because that commissioners, that's where everybody needs to be holding the feet to the fires.
I don't know where this come from, but old Deep Pockets Jeff Taylor said he deleted a bathroom and a bedroom. Will his taxes go down?
If he didn't call me, then it won't. But
Okay.
he knows how to get a hold of me.
You don't get many-
You
you
don't
don't
Deep
get-
Pockets. You know what I'm talking
You
about?
tell him call me.
Okay.
He knows how to get
And he
a hold
also
of me.
wants to borrow money from me to pay his taxes. Jeff, it might be the other way around, brother. We all know Deep Pockets, you know.
Well, ask him if he can borrow enough from you to cover me, too.
There
I
you
appreciate
go.
that.
His pockets go plumb to his knees.
Yeah.
All right, folks, I got to take a commercial break. Talking about money, I got to pay the bills. Y'all ain't going nowhere, are you?
No,
No.
we're
Come
here,
back.
man.
We're going to get
Yeah.
into the nitty gritty. I'm going to let y'all guys do the talking, and I'm just going to come in when I don't know what the hell you're saying, which is probably about 3 words in. All right, folks. We're going to have to take a commercial break because I got to pay the bills. So we're going to come back. We're going to keep talking to Scott Morrison and Ryan Hall. They are the property assessors in Benton County and Henry County. I'm trying to, I'm not real smart. I'm doing it for y'all guys, trying to weed through all this. I know I'm aggravating them because they're talking up here and Mike's down here. But, we'll get it all out. So tune around. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Boom.
Is your tank on empty? Come to 54 Fuel Mart, located at 1213 A Westwood Street, for the best prices on gas. What about your other tank? You know, the one that is growling? 54 Fuel Mart has you covered for that as well. Check out our fried chicken, wings, pizza, and many other items to satisfy your hunger. On Tuesdays and Fridays, you really need to check out the fried fish. We also have a selection of freeze-dried candies, along with an entire aisle of candy bars and other sweets. Is it raining, or do you just not want to get out of the car? We have a drive-up window for your convenience. We also have dyed diesel for use in your tractors and other farm equipment. We have parking for big rigs, and our business hours are 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Feeling lucky? Well, do you? We have scratch-offs, and you can try your hand and the TN lottery while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart, located at the Westwood Y, Paris.
Charter Senior Living, located at 350 Volunteer Drive, is a premier community for seniors interested in pursuing life, energy, and purpose. We have restaurant-style dining, life enrichment programs, social activities, local scheduled transportation, and a beauty salon. We show respect to our veterans with a wall of honor. Our mission at Charter Senior Living is to enhance the human spirit. For more information about Charter Senior Living, call us at 731-644-9680.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Ah, sunrise. You crawl out of bed, wipe the sleep from your eyes, and say those 3 words everyone wants to hear. What's for breakfast? Well, I've got the answer for you. Come to the Sunrise Cafe in downtown Mackenzie. Bacon, eggs, French toast, we've got it all. How about an omelet? Having trouble deciding? Check out our full-service menu for more delicious choices. We have plate lunches served daily, which includes meatloaf, catfish, and brisket, just to name a few. So when you're ready for some good food at a great price, come on down to the Sunrise Cafe, 62 Waldron Street, just off the square in downtown Mackenzie, Tennessee.
Chad Cox, PLLC, provides representation in the areas of criminal law, family law, personal injury, wills and probate law. Chad Cox serves Paris and the surrounding area. He does not believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to representing his clients. He reviews every detail of your case to ensure that you receive an assessment that is specific to the unique circumstances in your case. Chad Cox is located at 104 North Brewer Street, Paris, Tennessee. Contact us at 731-642-4446.
Is this a normal sight around your house in the winter? Then when the hot summer sun comes around, is this something you see quite regularly too? If so, AccuAir is your answer. AccuAir serves all surrounding counties with top-notch HVAC techs to get you in the comfort that you deserve. Call Nathan or one of the highly skilled techs from AccuAir. AccuAir also offers BPU-approved financing for all your HVAC replacements. AccuAir is your #1 choice for all your heating and cooling.
How do you like your bacon and eggs? Scrambled? How about fried? Let me introduce you to West Side Cafe. It's 302 West Wood Street. It's where the old take-me-back used to be. Looking for a mouth-watering cheeseburger? Or how about a good old plate of catfish? Try their daily plate lunch special, or you can order off the menu. That's West Side Cafe, 302 West Wood Street, right off the square in Paris, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., 7 days a week. Did I mention it was Mike Weatherford approved?
All right, folks, next week, Tuesday, March the 4th, Broken Justice, the unsolved 2005 murder of Cole Richard in Antioch, Tennessee. This boy was working at a game store. Somebody come in, 3 guys did, robbed him and killed this young man. He was 18 years old. It happened in 2005, and his murder case has not been solved. you know, we got a big footprint here on the Mike Weatherford Show, so we do these things periodically to help people. This family needs some closure. I've got Amelia Courtney from New York. She's a podcaster and investigator. And I got Bert Staggs. He's an investigative reporter. He's going to be in here with me. And I got Maggie Lee. She is the sister of this guy, Cole Richard, that was killed 2005 here in Anchorage, Antioch, Tennessee, right up the road from us here in Nashville. And they have never found the killers. You know, there's killers among us. So I want you to tune in, watch this show. You may have heard something. You may know somebody's heard something. Let's try to get some justice for Cole Richard, 18-year-old boy that was murdered senselessly over some damn money and a video game. You know, they're among us, folks. So tune in next week, Tuesday, March the 4th, 7 p.m. Bert Staggs will be here with me. Amelia Courtney from New York, she'll be in here. And Maggie Lee, she is the sister to this Cole Richard. Tune in next week, March the 4th, 7 p.m. We're going to be talking about that. Also, what else have I got here? Don't forget my sister show over at Good Day Paris. Every Thursday at 6:30 Central Time right here on Facebook Live. Don't miss it. Terry's got somebody, even you see my picture, I've been on there. So tune in. Find out what she's got going on. She's always got something exciting. Tune in. That's Good Day Paris, Facebook. Get over there and follow them so you keep up what's going on. That's another Kill Media production. And we got another one here. It's called The Tennessee Informer with Dave Vance, silencing a whistleblower. Was suspicious death of DHS insider Philip Haney, a result of the deep state. Special guest is David Baldwin. How in the hell? Y'all help me here. What is that name?
Baldwin?
I don't know. Anyway, David's going to be on the Tennessee Informer. That's Facebook and YouTube, Monday, March the 3rd, 7 p.m. Tune in and watch this show. You might learn something. And Springtime in Paris is March the 8th. That's to be right around the corner, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., indoor and outdoor, 60-plus vendors, crafts, unique boutiques, jewelry, wood decor, a petting zoo. Hell, Jeff Taylor can go out there and do some petting. Spring mini photo session. It's just, look at that list. There's a lot of stuff going on here at the Henry County Fairgrounds. Go out there and get your shopping done. It's a commercial building out here at the Henry County Fairgrounds, March the 8th. I'm sure that's going to be a Saturday. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't miss it. It's coming up. And so we're back. I'm sitting here talking with Scott Morrison. He's the Henry County Property Assessor. I'm talking to Ryan Hall. He's the Benton County Property Assessor. And we found out that Scott is getting in his car in the morning. He's going to Jeff Taylor's house, going to check on them dog kennels and pools and that bowling lane he's put in, that drag strip. And I think an airport, too. I think he's put all that in.
That's good. We need to find out what he's got
going on
out there.
Go out there and get your wheel out there. You might as well get a motorized wheel for all that stuff.
Probably need one for Jeff.
Yeah, we're going to have to get all that. And another question here. Why don't we have a simple flat tax rate per square foot? That's a fair question for people to understand how it works. I guess it's because $1 million house is worth more square foot than a $100,000 house per square foot. Is that why it's not just a flat tax?
Well, you know, that base house goes for everybody's house.
Right.
You know, that base house we talked about at the first part of the show. So, you know, other than tweaking the qualities and then getting your physical attributes, you know, your square footage, one of them's got a basement, one of them's got upstairs. But really, that base house shoots off to every house. So yeah, it kind of is a flat. It's a uniform.
A sliding scale flat, I guess. You know, it's starts out with a base price, and kind of like when you buy a new car. You know, do you want power windows, power seats, power door locks? It kind of raises the price up. So Henry County and Benton County has got some real appraisals coming. Benton County's done got it set in stone.
March the 7th, my change notices mail out from Nashville. Tell
me what's going to happen. I'm going to let you just tell us what's going on.
So
I'm going to get back to you, but Benton County's ready. Henry County's not ready yet. I'm not leaving you out, Scott, but he's ready.
Got it. So we're ready. All the numbers are crunched. They've done given me all this heart attack. Yeah, all your percentage increases.
This guy come in here, folks, with all kind of paperwork, numbers that I don't know what the hell it said. I'm saying $1 million. I know that's above my head.
Well, yeah, and you know it is complex. You know, when they crunch all of it, but what's going to happen is the new data, all the new appraisals, you get what they call a change notice. It's going to have what your appraisal was before, and it's going to have what it is now. And
But he won't have your tax.
It will. It clearly says this is not a tax bill.
Gotcha.
Because we're not going to know that until this summer, till all of this process. But there's several things that'll have to take place between now and we set the tax rate. The first thing will be the taxpayer gets their change notice. Then they look at that. Now, what I've been asking my people over there to do, I've been challenging them, do a little homework and try to get an idea of what your place would bring. I told them, call some of our realtors over there. They've made good enough the last 5 years. They can give you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, if you were going to list my house today, how much would it, would you put it on the market?
That or what would it bring?
Yeah,
I don't want to ask them what will they list it for because they want your list, and I will tell you 300. What will my house bring is the question to ask.
Well, yeah, and they've been listing it at 300, and it's been bringing 350.
You're
on
right.
some of them.
You're right. You got me on that one.
But anyways, try to talk to your homeowners insurance folks. Has anybody's homeowners insurance went up out there in the last couple of years?
Yeah, they knew it was coming.
Right.
Even to prepare for this show, I talked to a guy that works for State Farm, and he said, yeah, we knew it was coming. We've already adjusted for it, but I'm sure they probably didn't tighten it up as tight. There's going to probably be some insurance premiums go up also.
Well, I'll let all the insurance folks take those
I'll get
phone
one
calls.
here.
But yeah, so when everybody gets that, have a pretty good idea what your place would bring. If you think we're wrong, if you think there's something not right on it, you can call us. Like Scott said, I got the comptroller's office. They're going to be in my office March the 10th through the 14th, that first week. Now, I don't even know if the mail will all get delivered by then. They're wanting to get in and get out, But
they're like Jesse James.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they'll show up. People won't even get the first ones to Wednesday. They're already halfway
they won't
done.
have the stamps licked yet. They'll be gone.
Right, but anyways, call us up. We're going to ask you specific questions. You got two baths. You got this. You got that. All that.
We got the numbers on the screen.
Right,
There's
there
your phone number.
Yeah, there's my phone number. Call us up, and we'll go over everything. If we got something wrong, we want to know about it. Because when you're mass appraising, like over in my county, 17,000 parcels, some of them they're going to hit, right? I told you a while ago, most of them are still coming in a little
How does
lower.
that work? If I called you and I said, Ryan, they got my house at $400,000. I don't think it's worth for $300,000. To be able to say your house is worth $400,000, there's a little pride in that, because nobody's ever had a house worth what they're worth now.
Right.
And I say, I don't think it's worth $400,000. And what happens? What did you do?
Well, the way they say it, the burden lies on the taxpayer to prove
that it's not.
Because the state, and they've provided us, we've got the sales data. We've got the comparable sales.
Right.
We've got your
comps.
Neighborhood. We've got what things have been selling for. So
I need to come with that appraisal from what a real estate said it should bring. That would help.
Well, yeah, educate yourself.
Sure, I got you. I understand.
And then, right, you can't just call up and say, "Hey, you got it too high."
Yeah.
You gotta kind of work.
You gotta have
with
a
us
reason
here.
it's too high.
That's right. Because everybody's is going to be high.
Sure.
I just told you how much they're going to average go up.
78%.
Yeah, I mean, my house, I built it in 2018, and they got it almost priced as much as what I built the whole thing for, more.
Yeah.
So I mean, and if somebody bought it in 2020, it's lost 17%. It's increased in value 17% a year. So have your information ready to go.
Right.
If we got something wrong, we want to know. We'll be glad to correct it. It's called an informal hearing, okay? It's not nothing formal or anything. We're just talking.
What do you do if I called you and I said I talked to a real estate and they said my house would probably bring about $300,000 and you've got it for $400,000? What steps does Ryan take to remedy this problem?
Well, our goal is to be correct and have correct and accurate data. I'll do everything I can to assure that you're being treated fairly, okay?
You would look back at the numbers.
Yeah, I'll look, and you can go on Realtor. You can go on some of them other websites, Google what my house is worth, stuff like that. But because we're going to be looking at our data, okay? And then we will make a decision. and we will mail you out. Now, mine's going to go out in May. Now, Scott's going to have a real quick turnaround because his informals are going to be the 1st of May, and then his second change notices are going to go out toward the end of May. Or like,
Our
you probably got
our
those dates.
First round is going out May 9th.
Oh, gosh.
And then we're turning around May 20th. I mean, we don't have any time.
Yeah, so you better get on over here in Henry County. You better be calling if you got something, because the assessor makes the decision, and then we send you a second notice in the mail of what we've decided we're going to.
After I appeal.
If we decide to lower it, if something's wrong or whatever, we will mail you a change notice. Your second notice is what it's called.
Right.
Then, say you look at it and you say, well, that dude didn't do nothing for me. You know, he said, and all this stuff.
Oh, Ryan lied to me.
Yeah, well, I won't lie to you. I just might not make you happy.
I'm just using what they're going to say.
Yeah, he said, I thought he's going to do something for me. Well, then you got your second step, which is your County Board of Equalization. I think your man back there has got from that point on that he could post on the.
Is that what you're talking about right there?
Yeah. Well, no, that's your. Go to that one where it talks about the appeals and stuff. The County Board of Equalization. There you go, right there.
Pull out something I can't read that. Hell, I'm too blind. There you go.
There you go. All right. So
my guy's magic. You see that?
So that's your second step, County Board of Equalization. This is made up of 5 local folks. Scott's probably got them the same as I do. I've got some. I got one.
Who are they made up of?
So
regular folks.
So they're regular folks. The city, the largest city in your county has one appointee. So Paris has one appointed, and then the others are appointed by the county mayors or the commission.
I've got farmers. I got farmers
I've
on
never
mine.
been appointed to anything.
I'm
too dumb.
You wouldn't want this job come June the 1st.
Y'all didn't let me finish. I'm so dumb. They don't point me to nothing.
Well, ain't nobody going to want no part of this deal coming up.
I don't want my name on none of that.
So
hearing before a judge.
Well, now that's on down the line. So the county board's June the 1st every year. Right. A taxpayer has these rights every year, not just in reappraisal. But so you go to your county board, you present your information to them. They have more authority than the assessor does. So even if I don't think it needs to drop down to this, if the county board deems it does, they'll drop it down. You get that other notice in the mail.
Gotcha.
We didn't change nothing, or we lowered it down to this.
Yeah.
Now, say you're still not happy. Then you go up to the state level. You go to the State Board of Equalization. And that's where you get into the bigger deals.
Is this costing the taxpayer money?
Well, it's all the burden is all on the taxpayer. You know, now the DPA, the Division of Property Assessment, the comptroller, they've got attorneys that represent the assessors and represent basically their office and what they're changing it to. And so, but then you have that appeal.
So what you're doing, the first thing, I hate to butt in, excuse me.
Go ahead.
When I call you and I say, or Scott in his case, or who there be, I think this is wrong. I don't think I understood what you do to say, Mike, I'm going to check into it. What do you check into to make sure that the houses around me brung about that price, or is that what do you do?
Here's a conversation I had the other day with a lady. This is real life rubber meets the road conversation.
That's what I
like. She calls me up. She says, "Hey, I've been looking at the people in my neighborhood and what they're paying in taxes, and I'm looking at what I'm paying in taxes, and I'm paying more, and I don't think you're right." So I said, "Okay, let me look." That
was a fair assessment, I think.
But here's the thing. Each house is a standalone. Each parcel is a standalone.
But I can understand her complaint.
Right. So it's not apples and apples most of the time. It's built different years, different square footages. But anyways, so I pull up her card, and I think I had it at like $260 is what she was, a $260,000 appraisal. And she had given, let's see, I was $60,000 lower than what she just gave for it.
What the hell?
And I said, well, ma'am, I don't care about that. I'm talking about who pays. My neighbor pays this, and my neighbor pays that. And I said,
was it a local, or was it somebody come here from out of town?
No, it was a local. It was a local. Okay. The house had been completely, totally remodeled. Right. You know, I think they gave $264 for it, something like that. Yeah. And you know, and I had it for like it was. I remember telling her, I said, well, ma'am, I got it at $60,000 less than what you just gave for it. You know, so in that situation, in fairness and equity, there ain't, you know, I could clicked around and made a voter happy, but I'd be breaking. That's right.
But that's not fair to me as a taxpayer.
That's right.
You know, everybody needs to share their burden.
That's right.
And I appreciate you for doing that. But if it had turned right around, if it had been that you had it appraised for 200, 300,000, and she just bought it for 250, you could have might have went the other way.
Well, and that's what I said a while ago. You got to factor in too, if you bought your house in 2020 in Benton County, it's increased in value about 17% on average a year.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was telling you a while ago about my house. You know, we built it in 18, so it's just been historic is what has happened to us around here. And
you think that the next appraiser is going to see this? Who can see the future? Hell, I know that's a pie in the sky question.
The people that's smarter than me that we go to meetings to and listen to, because this ain't just Henry County, Benton County. This is up East Tennessee. This is all over the state.
Do they think our market's going to continually grow at this leaps and bounds?
I don't think it'll do what it's done.
It can't.
But I think
because we've already priced the locals out of the market predominantly. It started. Y'all both. You have children.
I do.
You have children. I do too. Thank God, mine's got their homes. But a family starting out right now, I don't know how, if they ain't got daddy money, how they going to buy a house. I don't know how, and I feel for the average person because I was raised poor. I come out of West Paris. That's where I come. I'm a West Paris mole. Never had anything. Still don't have nothing, but I worked hard for it. But what I'm asking, how is it going to, let me just back up. What's got to happen? How can we're going to eventually get to where the old money's buying the houses. When that old money's gone, well, who's going to buy these houses? You can't continue with a 25-year-old boy and he's got a wife and a kid. He's working for $18 to $20 an hour. How's he going to buy a $300,000
Well, I mean, how you even going to start off renting anymore? What the rent prices are, man?
That's because of the houses market has put them out.
These 30-year-old single wide, and I lived in a single wide for a bunch of years. I ain't run down, but I'm saying they're getting $800 and $1,000 a month.
But that's because they've been pushed out of the homeowners market. They're paying more per month rent than they could buy a house for, but they can't get that foothold. They can't get that down payment. They can't get all that other stuff. I don't know the answers, but I just feel, because I know when I was younger, I'm 62 years old. When I first got married, rent was $175 a month. Light bill was $30 a month. And I'm hearing rumors of $1,800 a month rent, some $2,000 a month rent, and it's predominantly around $900 to $1,000 a month. And it's bringing it because, number one, there's a demand for it. Because, in my opinion, this is just me, I think they've been pushed out of the homeowners market. I think we're living through some times where we're not seeing the home ownership continue to grow up. I think it's old money. You know what old money is?
Well, it's out-of-state money.
It's out-of-state, old money. How long is that going to continue? It's going to price out up where they're coming from.
Well, back a few years ago,
afford to pay for a house?
All the locals in Nashville was having to leave and move to Dixon. Well, then all the local Dixon folks moved to McEwen.
That's right.
And I was talking to somebody the other day over at Humphreys County. Humphreys County's growing actually on their percentages faster than we are. Mike, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's not even a question for y'all. It's just something I'm thinking. What in the hell? It's going to have to. Something's got to happen. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I just feel sorry for that because I know what it's like to be poor, and I'm still poor.
We're with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I just don't know what this next generation, maybe my grandkids, are going to do. How are they going to buy them a house? That's everybody's dream, is to own their own home. White picket fence. When I was a kid, I don't know what it is now. It used to be everybody wanted a house with a white picket fence. But I don't see a man going to work at Dana and buying him a brand new house right now. It's sad.
It's me and Scott. Me and Scott, we're our hands are tied too on this.
But you got personal feelings like I do,
right? The only card that we've got to play is in June when we get the state will give us a final. Now I've got preliminary numbers. My cities are going to need to drop by over 30 cents on the tax rate. My county is looking like somewhere around dropping over a dollar on our current tax rate.
From $2.72 to $1.72?
Well, I don't have the officials, but we're ballpark that.
Damn.
Yeah. And here's because that's revenue neutral.
Has that ever happened before?
Never. I was just fixing to say.
Have you ever heard of it?
No, I mean, this is going to be it's going to be a historic value increase, but also a historic certified tax rate decrease.
That's right. If your county commissioners and city aldermen will listen to us in June.
Yeah.
So whenever you
they
get
better
done
be
being
listening.
mad at us where your assessment
Jump on the
notice,
other side.
Well, something going back, Ryan, something you had talked about earlier when you were telling about the county board and the state board. The good news is if you don't agree with what assessment we've got on your property is, you can go to somebody else. You don't have to stop with the assessor.
Sure. I'm glad there is.
You know, and that's the thing. It takes it out of our hands.
It's checks and balances.
That's right. And, you know, because all we can do is administer what the role of the assessor is and do the job that we're monitored by the state.
I got a YouTube viewer asked, Trump is talking about getting rid of property tax. I haven't heard that. And they said, did the property assessors think that's possible? I mean, how would we fund stuff?
We have no idea. I mean, I don't
we'll
know
follow
how
the law, whatever the law
whatever
is.
the Tennessee Constitution says is what we have to go by.
But I mean, you know, I've heard him talking about getting rid of income tax and doing it with tariffs, which, you know, that's how this country was funded, was tariffs. People I don't want to get into that. And somebody said homeowner can hire a certified real estate appraiser to consult and represent them at the Board of Equalization.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, they can bring me an appraisal in.
Smart right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I look at appraisals all the time. I tell somebody, bring it to me, man. Yeah. I'll be as sensible as I can about it. You know, if you bring me an appraisal in and it's showing that I'm high on that, I'll do my best to get it.
Sure.
done.
I mean, I know you will. That's your job. But you know, you said something a while ago that really. You know, I knew you and liked you anyway, both of y'all, and I know you're the same exact way. He just happened to say the words. You know, you want to be fair.
That's right.
And that's if I think my taxes is too high, and I believe my assessor when he tells me, well, Mike, it's all I can do. I want to think that he's not giving his buddy or his somebody else a little better deal than me. Right. And I don't think neither one of y'all will do that. I think that y'all are the type of people that's got a job to do, and you're going to do it fairly. Because you're audited more regular than any damn other office I ever heard of. You told me earlier before we went on the show, that y'all audit how often?
Every quarter. They check our sales verification process. They check our the 25%.
To look for stuff like that.
They've already been in my.
Y'all got the beeper going back there.
Well, they won't let us. They won't let us do under the time. I mean, even if you had a dishonest assessor in there, you know, and there was an assessor. Well, there was an assessor down the road. He wasn't picking up new houses. He wasn't measuring new stuff. What
the hell's he doing?
Well, and he was hanging out in the mayor's office. What I heard. Well,
Did
everybody.
You have that problem when you
we had that issue here in this county as well.
Everybody in the coffee shop was happy with the assessor.
Well, sure they was.
The only problem is the comptroller's office wasn't happy with them. And so what they done was they brought in field appraisers from East, Middle, and West Tennessee.
Oh, they lit them up.
They rode 2 per car over that old boy. They picked up every chicken house, outhouse. And when they got done with that old boy, they increased the appraisal by over $2 million. Now, Benton County don't want that. They'd rather deal with me, I promise you.
That's something that leading into this, because I had another assessor from over Middle Tennessee tell me, he said, make sure that your property owners understand if you don't do your job, the state comptroller will.
That's right.
They'll take your office over, and then your local people won't have a local person to talk to.
That's right.
They'll talk to the state comptroller.
Well, I mean, it's out of your hands. After talking with y'all, I'm understanding a little bit more. I kind of knew what assessor done to an extent, but I do realize that y'all are basically hands are tied. This is what this house sold for. This is what houses like that are selling for. So this house is probably close to that value. And I'm sure y'all don't say, well, this house sold for $300, that sold for $320. It's going to be $320. You probably try to average it. I'm sure there's an average. There's a plug-in y'all use. I think the public don't want to pay taxes. Nobody does. Nobody. And I'm part of it too. I'm going to put myself in that group, and I'm sure y'all do too. But what y'all are doing is not the bad guys. The bad guys is, I don't know who they are in this deal. Who is the bad guys?
Well, there's no bad guys. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. But who can they blame for their taxes going up is probably
their neighbor across the street.
That's what I was going to say.
They just moved here from California.
You beat it too. I mean, they're the ones to blame. They overpaid for the houses.
Or did they? Or did they? What the market, you know.
They overpaid, and now the market's backing them up. It's kind of right backwards. They didn't buy off what the appraisals was. They bought, and now the appraisals is catching up to what they paid for. You know, but that's capitalism at work. You know, I don't want communism. I don't want socialism. I want to own my house. I bitch about paying taxes. I bitch about everything that the average person bitch about. I bitch and probably louder. Dana, I know I'm her trophy boyfriend. That's rough, but it's hard being a trophy boyfriend. But she's got to listen to me bitch about stuff. You're a trophy too, aren't you?
Yeah, man.
That's right. I have to when we go out somewhere walking around. I have to walk one step ahead. I feel like a show pony.
I've never. Hey Scott, you're going to see this year. I've never been able to get used to mailing myself a letter. Of course, they come out of Nashville, but Ryan Hall sent it, and it's to Ryan Hall.
That's
so
pretty cool.
I've raised my appraisal too.
That's right.
I don't have anybody to complain to. Is my problem.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to touch? If we covered what y'all wanted to talk about, I don't think we missed anything.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
you got more information than he does, and not because you're smarter, but it's
well, we're further along in the process.
The state's not got him there yet.
You can have Scott back on to get down to the nitty gritty.
But I'm gonna feel like he's setting. He's got 17,000 parcels. What's Henry County got?
20, a little over 20, about 27.5.
So we're a little bit over what they got as far as pieces of property. Our value historically has been a little higher than Benton County.
Right.
I think Benton County's catching up, or do you still think we're going to have that percent higher?
I think we're still going to be a little higher from what we're seeing.
The values of Henry County going to be a little higher than Benton County.
I don't want to share the base house price because it's not done. They're still adjusting it. But
don't scare the hell out of them.
But I'll tell you what I know right now is it's going to be it may be a little higher than Benton County.
Right. So we're looking at a value. What I want to do with this show was I want to tell everybody to get ready. The value of your property, more than likely, 99% of the time, is going to go up. After that, you need to start talking to your county commissioners to make sure that they lower that certified tax rate down. And could be some cases to where your taxes could go down because of that, or it could be a few cases where it goes up on account of that. But the state law says that this $1.93 is going to drop. The law says they're going to have to drop that per 100. Yes. And you're saying that Benton counties, by law, could go from $2.72 to $1.72.
Or maybe lower. It may, I'm kind of giving myself a 5 to 8 cent.
Well, let's say $1.70.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big drop. So Henry County, if we come in the same rate, we'll be down to 93 cents.
There's a possibility, yes. Very good possibility.
But the dollar amount will be there. Your taxes won't go down. The dollar amount of tax will probably stay there because it's going to be 90 cents for $100,000, for a $200,000 house, or 93 cents for a $300,000 house. The dollar amount's still there, percent is still there. So I think we've pretty well explained it, have we not?
Just keep in mind that in June, that official tax rate,
right?
If your commissioners or your city aldermen want to go above that, they have to have a public meeting,
right? And
that's where you need to show up with your picket signs and get crazy, because I'm going to be standing up and I'm going to be saying, we need to lower. For the first time in 15 years, in 2020, Benton County went with the certified tax rate, and I'm proud of that because I held their feet to the fire on it.
You're holding it now, sound like.
Well, I'm going to.
He's asking for pickets.
Well, I mean,
Scott, you want to back him up?
I'm gonna hold my tongue
be
on that.
respectful.
I will.
They got a tough job too.
The
commissioners have got a tough job. But
their commissioners are my friends. Everybody that I bitch about are my friends. If I can't disagree with them, like me and Taylor Hayes, we agree a lot, but we disagree a lot, and we just figured out I'm not going to change him. He's not going to change me. He's a county commissioner. We just move on with it. But every indemnity, city, county, state, and federal, they all want one thing. That's more money. And if they can see a way to get it, they'll do it, because Henry County is going through a lot. You have to agree, we're going through a lot of past. Hell, I'm going to say it. We had past commissioners that didn't do a good enough job keeping our buildings up, and now we got shit falling in. We're going to have to spend some money. I don't know where the money's going to come from. We got to build, repair, or both. They might say this is a windfall to get some extra money, but I don't think it ought to come on our backs. I don't think I ought to pay for years of mismanagement. That's just Mike talking. That's not y'all talking.
I've always told the commissioners, I was like, look, y'all got a job to do. I got a job to do.
Sure.
You won't hear a peep out of me in non-reappraisal year.
Yeah.
There's enough going on in reappraisal year.
Yeah.
Let's just try to go with that certified rate. That's the only card we've got to play for our people.
Certified rate is a $2.72 and $1.93 is what you call certified rate.
That's what we locked in that in 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you some quick questions. I got to let y'all guys go. Tom Affey's Zillow online appraiser is close to accurate. Just quickly, Zillow.
It could possibly be, but Zillow is probably a part of that is factoring in on the 2020 appraisals.
Gotcha.
So you may want to give it a month or so for this new data to get out in the public.
Then see what they say. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if taxes go down for senior citizens after a certain age.
For low income seniors, y'all don't have a tax freeze over here, do you?
No.
It's just
No.
I think, and the trustee's office handles that program.
Handle that. Henry County
Disabled
trustee.
veterans and low income seniors.
Hold on a minute. Let me read this. Somebody says she hasn't paid land taxes in 10 years. Are they going to charge her for back land taxes due?
They don't own it if they
don't own
paid
it
them
if
in
she
10
hasn't
years.
paid it in 10 years.
Hold on. Tell me in my ear, is this what I'm reading right? Tell me. That's what she said. I'm not going to start. Somebody named Lisa says she hasn't paid land taxes. I don't know where this come from.
Somebody's paying them.
We'll just say we don't have anything to do with that.
I know you don't.
So
Damn.
she needs to contact the probably the county attorney or chancery court office.
How does she
and
still
talk
own
with
it
them.
after 10 years?
She ain't paid. Somebody's paid them in 10
Somebody's
years.
paying them, yeah.
Or nobody knows she owns it.
Yeah, because after 3 years, you're going up to the tax sale.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be advertising.
I don't
that.
encourage any of your listeners to stop paying their taxes. 10 years.
Hell no.
If I don't pay mine, they'll be selling mine too. You know, that's just the way
I've
it
got to
is.
go between now and Friday, you know, and I kind of do it like I did my children with their allowance. I wait to the last minute before they walk out the door. I'm afraid they'll spend the craps in the house somewhere, you know. So
That's the roughest day the trustees got, ain't it?
I hate
That
it,
last
man.
day of tax.
You know, and I've got some property, and I got to pay a lot.
Yeah.
And do I like it? Hell no, I don't like to pay my property taxes. But as long as I'm paying my fair share, and the guy next to me is paying his fair share, and I believe with both of you, I know Scott personally. I don't know you as well, but I think now I can see it in your eyes. You're sincere.
Absolutely.
Make it fair. You know, that's all we asked. And then it's up to the commissioner to spend that money right. That's where we need to hold their feet on the fire.
Yep.
You know, y'all going to need some help. Y'all know that. And I'm going to help y'all out right here. Everybody comes on my show, they want to ask me, are they part of the mafia now? Y'all going to need me. You know, I'm the godfather of Brewer Street Mafia. So I'm going to make you and him an official member of the Brewer Street Mafia. Read what it says on there. It tells you.
Get my Dollar Tree spectacles.
Read it. What
on
it
here.
says. It says you're official. Read it out.
Official, the Brewer Street Mafia member.
That's
Official
right.
member.
Official
All
member.
right.
That means a lot, man.
It does.
Yeah,
You know,
thank
that
you.
that
Appreciate
thing
that.
right there in 5 pennies gets you a nickel. But you're going to need the Godfather because y'all fixing
So
to
when
go
they're
to,
giving me a good cussing, I just flash this,
just
right?
flash that out, and it should stop it all. If
That's
it
what
don't,
we're going to do.
man, I appreciate
Mike,
you coming on.
appreciate you, brother.
Brother, I appreciate
Appreciate it.
you, man.
Thank you, Mike.
I know you don't have all the numbers yet, and but you
I'll
did.
be glad to come on.
I
After
know.
we
I'm
get our
going to
final
get you to
numbers,
come back.
We'll be back.
And I'll probably bring him back with you.
Yeah.
So seriously, and we can see where we're at compared to Benton, because that's our sister county. Benton
Right.
County, we got Weakley County, we got some Stewart County, but I kind of seem like Benton County is more of our.
Yeah.
How do y'all get that cheap gas? That's what we want to
Well,
know
we ain't
over
gonna
there, man.
You'll get it now.
Is that another? Oh, flash this
yeah,
in
flash
Benton
it.
County?
Yeah. Don't tell Kenny Christopher about it though. He'll want his. Or Sam Rainwater. I better send him one. You gonna see Sam?
I'll see him in the morning. Yeah.
Hey, in the back room, be sure and get me one more of my chips so I can send one to my old buddy Sam Rainwater over there. And
I cut my teeth on his campaign in
yeah,
2010.
He's
I
a good
helped
friend of
Sam,
mine. I
yeah.
like him. You know, I tell everybody, I'm a Henry County, born and raised here, got family in Benton County. I feel like that's raised going over all the time, seeing my family over there. Benton County has got a place in my heart. That's why I try to get y'all guys involved in Benton. I'm always reaching out to Benton County because that's like my second home.
Right.
Got a lot of family over there. And I tell the sheriff and everybody, y'all do it right. That's my family over there. You know.
Sam, he cut
good
meat
man.
at IGA
Yeah.
before he got elected, and I run a bush hog for the county. So we always say I bush hogged my way in, and he butchered his way into the courthouse. But that's what they need. They need common sense, just
They
good
do.
country folk, common sense people that
Yep.
you can talk
well,
to.
we, and I don't mean who we voted for, but the country did that on a national election.
Right.
Just a few months ago. Back in November, we just showed the public that we need some common sense. We need it locally. We're going to have to get the common folks going to have to get up, get off their butt, and start doing the right thing. When there's a problem, call it out. Because we're at a crossroad. We're seeing our taxes go up. We're seeing a dozen eggs. I've never seen eggs this damn high. I mean, it's crazy. Groceries are high. Everything is going up astronomically, and it's a damn mess, folks. And I don't know. Rent's high. I mean, I'm going back to a young family just starting out. How in the hell are they going to make it, brother? How did we make
I
it?
didn't get my wife a dozen roses. I got her a dozen eggs for
hell
Valentine's Day, man.
I got Dana 4 chickens.
I paid more for the eggs than I would the roses.
I told her I'm going to give her 4 chickens. That way she can always have my breakfast ready, maybe. Anyway. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all coming in, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Keep doing what you're doing, and you and I will be in contact.
Yes, sir.
When you get your numbers in, I want you back, and we're going to break it to them and tell them what's going on. Is there anything that y'all guys need to say that we ain't covered before we go?
Man, I appreciate the opportunity to serve Benton County. I appreciate the opportunity to come over here with you. And, just ask the folks, do a little homework, kind of get an idea. Yeah. And if we got something wrong, man, we'll get it fixed for you.
In other words, get your hind end covered, folks. It's headed that way. All I'm going to tell you. Get behind that tree, son. All right, folks, don't forget, next week, that's March the 4th, I've got a pretty good case because we're going to need some help on this case. It's the case of Richard Cole. Cole Richard, he was killed in Antioch. There it comes up. In Antioch, Tennessee, in 2005, a young 18-year-old boy was working. He was trying to do what we do, trying to get ahead in life. At 18 years old, working in a game store. Some robbers come in there and shot him and killed this poor young man. I'm going to have Burton Staggs. He's an investigative reporter. Amelia Courtney's a friend of mine out of New York. She does a podcast up there. The Murdered LBL. She does a lot around here because she was born in Tennessee. And I got Maggie Lee. She is a sister of Cole Richard. She's going to tell us the whole tragedy story, what we need. The murder is still out there. So I want you, my viewer, to tune in. Tell your family, tell your friends, tune in because there might be some little old something that one of your family in Nashville heard about this case. That could be all they need to finally put this puzzle together and get some closure for this family. I mean, this breaks my heart. An 18-year-old boy working, and some thugs come in and kill this poor kid. That's the world we're living in, folks, and it was happening back in 2005. So it's 20 years ago. This family's had to suffer through this with no answers or nothing. So I want you to tune in. Let's help get this thing done. And don't forget about my sister show, Good Day Paris. That goes on Facebook Live at 6:30. Go over there, find Good Day Paris on Facebook. Follow them. They got good guests on there all the time. They even had me, the trophy boyfriend. I've been on that show before, and you need to go on and check them out and see what they got going on. The other show is, what is it? Tennessee Informer with Dave Vance will be on. That's on, y'all help me with that last name right there. Somebody help me.
Baldwin.
There we go. You hear God talking in my ear. See, God watches over for drunks and dummies, so I'm kind of dumb. Baldwin, that's who he is. He's going to come on with a suspicious death of DHS insider Philip Haney. Dave Vance gets in depth on this kind of stuff right here, guys. If you want to find out about all that kind of stuff, go to YouTube, go to Facebook. It's called the Tennessee Informer. Check him out. Subscribe to him and watch him. It's Monday, March the 3rd, 7 p.m. You won't miss it. All right, folks, I want to thank my crew in the back, Kevin Keel, Scott Norwood, Billy Busey, and Dana Allen. Without them, I couldn't do what I do, which is sit out here and look pretty. Can I say that? Y'all back me on that? I mean, I know. I just sit here and talk. But I want to appreciate my sponsors. Without y'all guys, we couldn't do what we do. I thank all of y'all for tuning in, watching me every week. We try to be your go-to place for all the things we all want to know about. Property taxes, we all want to know about them. Hope we did a good job about explaining to you. They both give you their information, who you can contact them when you get your card in. Benton County's ready. They're going to be sending out those mail outs. Henry County's, the state's finishing theirs up next month. 2 months.
We should have our final values in April, first part of April.
First part of April, they'll run our damn fish fry, but here it comes. Get ready. It's headed our way. We might not be buying no fish when all that comes out. But anyway, folks, no, I'm just joking. The county's going to lower them back down. We're all going to live through it. It's never once as bad as we thought it was going to be, but we're trying to get you prepared, let you know what's headed your way and what could possibly happen. You know, it's kind of like a weather forecast. You know, we ain't going to say it's going to be a tornado, but my God, there's a chance there might be one. We might be a chance your taxes go up. So I give these guys these Brewer Street Mafia deals, so they're going to be we're going to take care of them. You know, they're just doing their job. Anyway, tune in next week, same time, same place. And like I always say, don't be late.
The Mike Weather Show is recorded live in the Brewer Street Mafia Studios, downtown Paris. A Kill Media, Brewer Street Mafia production.